Good morning, fanatics, and welcome to the Flow with the Markets Tuesday, volume 151 of the weekly outlook and setups. And as you know, in these videos, we are having a look at the market and how it developed on Monday, what kind of development we already have on Tuesday, and of course, how we can potentially strike, adapt, and if of course there are any new developments, I'm going to be mentioning them to you on this video. So to get straight into the analysis, pretty much I of course always advise you to first check out your economic calendars, because this week we actually have quite a few important news releases. So right now we started with a couple of JPY news. I don't actively trade USD yen, so it's gonna be the first time that I'm actually seeing it this morning. We had this EU leaders summit, which I think caused, so currently we have a strange spike, right? It's a spike, it's a lot of momentum, right? On EURUSD, for example, we have this massive bearish momentum, while on the DXY we have this kind of shakeout, a little bit bullish, a little bit bearish, right? So something strange happened overnight. I'm not pretty sure what. I also checked the news, I couldn't find it. So if you actually know what happened during the night, let me know. Okay, I do think it's some of those news right here. For the remaining of the day, we have a lot of Euro news, right? So we have CPI, GDP for different countries. We start from France. We have a little bit of Germany, Italy. We have some GBP as well. And then, of course, we have this one, which is pretty important. This is harmonized CPI. It's pretty important as well. As you can see, it's major impact because it judges consumer trends and inflation. So pretty important. GDP for CAD. So for the CAD lovers, stay tuned for that. And then we have a couple of USD news. Wednesday, we also have a lot of kind of flow. You can see there are news in 15 minutes, right? So news, right? Tomorrow could be really nice as well. We have, again, interest rate for CAD. So it's a huge week for the CAD. A lot of USD news as well. A lot of speeches, right? So we are actually having a pretty intense week. This week we have NFP on Friday. We can see Thursday is a little bit of a holiday right there, but yeah, it's just GBP and Italy, so nothing too huge as well. PPI right there, which is pretty important. Employment change right there, right? And of course on Friday we have NFP with average hourly earnings and all the stuff that goes together with it. And of course a lot of Euro news, right? So we have a lot of going on this week, so make sure that you are aware of that, and of course adapt according to your plan, right? When there are such huge news, of course, there is a lot of volatility, but of course, the market might get a little bit tricky. But this might get you a little bit off guard. So you decide whether to decrease your risk a little bit, trade a little bit careful. Tomorrow, or today, I should say, well, yeah, it's basically tomorrow. The monthly candle is also going to close. So right now we're kind of already running out of volume a little bit. It's gonna close today, then we're gonna have the new monthly open, then we're gonna have all those news, we're gonna have NFP. So I usually like to skip that first week, right? To let the market do its thing, to gather its momentum, to kind of give me a little bit of direction. And then I know usually I trade the best after the week after NFP, right? Because then everything is over, the market is clear, and then you just usually get like a nice continuation and some nice setups occurring without all the noise of the news, right? So to get to the analysis, DXY played out bearish as expected. However, its development was not textbook, but of course we do not expect textbook. If I just return the analysis, of course, I was expecting either a spike above this high to take a short, or of course a straight drop, then a pullback, and then a continuation. So we're having this second scenario right there with the drop. And right now, though, we have a little bit of a strange development, because what we also found out on the left is this little area, right? There is a little rally-based rally, right? Also sell to buy. And those are usually a pretty strong area of demand. And also we just ticked the 50% of the big weekly leg, right? Daily, weekly. Yeah, it's pretty much a weekly. I might even say even a monthly, right? No. It's weekly / daily. Yeah, all right. So we ticked 50% right there, which means that pretty much right now the market has pulled back towards its mean value. So we are bound to see right now either a consolidation or reversal, or of course a continuation, right? We just don't know. And what we have right now is this candle, right? It opened with a gap, filled the gap, expanded higher, and right now we're just trading right there in the middle. Wow, EU is selling off. Should have taken a sell. Yeah, so right now we kind of have a little bit of a shift to the upside, but according to me, this is not a significant shift. Okay. if I am to tell that this market is bullish, I will need to see a pullback and then a new higher high created, and then of course starting to go like this with the trend, right? But as of right now, if I also drop to the hourly time frame, well, we pretty much have this kind of push to the upside that sure, it broke the most recent lower highs, oops, which is right there, right? But as I told you, it's not confirmed yet, and I have told you in a lot of videos and weekly outlooks as well that sometimes you get a downtrend, you had this push that breaks the last lower high, and then you get this, right? So this is what could be happening right now as well. So of course, stay mindful of this. And I'm going to be careful, especially today, right? Especially after this development right now. I was monitoring for EU shorts and it's already going, so that's fine. I might have to adapt to the momentum. Oh man, it's just dropping. So yeah, let's see. So what I have, if I just drop to the 50-minute time frame, so we have this overall push. So if the market is going to turn bullish, then I would look for this range, initiation higher, and then a pullback lower, and then a potential continuation. Okay. So that could be the thing, but of course, right now, this high can act as liquidity in order for the market to pull us back towards an area like this, which could be an hourly zone. You can see this is an hourly zone, right? This is something else that I expect. So we can have this, right? A tap inside, taking out this high, and then immediately starting to reverse, then attacking the low, because this low right there is perfectly flat and perfectly equal, which is usually going to magnetize price towards it, right? So again, what has been happening for the past 2 weeks is it's just when I sit on my charts in the morning, I'm just confused, right? Do I look for longs? Do I look for shorts? So what I found out is that it's best to follow the session's momentum, right? So if we just go to the 5-minute right now, for example, there is no momentum yet, right? There is no momentum yet. We had this kind of push, we have this pullback. Right now, we're getting a little bit of bullish momentum and bearish on EU. So if this continues like this, then we can catch a quick long just towards taking it towards this high. And then as we tap inside this zone right there, I will be monitoring for development. Okay. And again, guys, keep in mind it's Tuesday. So Tuesdays are usually actually pretty tricky. Mondays tend to be good, but Monday yesterday did not provide me a single long entry, which I again really regret. And I'm also thinking to turn more into a swing trader because again, just looking for those lower time frame entries. A lot of times you spend a lot of time looking for those and then they don't give it to you and it's really painful. Okay. So DXY, I'm not going to say that it's turning bullish yet. But yes, I'm going to be looking for more development. Potentially, I'm going to be looking for this high to be broken, right? To act as liquidity, to tap inside this one. And then if we tap inside here, I'm going to be looking for a 50-minute shift in order to take a short. And of course, if everything breaks through and we start turning bullish, then of course, I'm going to be following the trend. Okay, so currently there is nothing that significant, which I see. Okay, so back to EU. EU structure right now, it's a bit tricky. We have the same zone on the left, which is this. And we tapped inside right now with a very sharp bullish pressure. And right now we can already say that the 4-hourly is kind of starting to flip to the downside because we had this kind of bearish candle, then a bullish one that made a new higher high. So you can say, all right, this is a lower low. So we're starting to reverse lower. Well, according to me, if I follow back price, we had this last demand that wasn't really tapped, right? But then if we again follow it, we have this push, we have this pullback, and then we have this push, right? So this is the structure, right? So as long as we retain above this zone right there, above this level, then we're technically bullish, right? So what we have right now is the market pulling us back towards 50%. Probably it wants to tap somewhere. Well, we have this zone that is kind of already tapped, but we might come in for another liquidity grab to just take out this low, which was my idea this morning on a short, which I missed actually right now. But that's fine. It might come back again. So yeah, I am still going to be looking for longs because again, if I just drop to the hourly time frame again, we have this kind of development that I marked on Sunday. So we had this little supply right there. The market tapped into that supply, responded, then it massively broke through. And this was an area that I was looking to long, right, that day. First, it did not pull back towards it, pushed, then it pulled back towards this one. But I promise you, well, I don't promise you, but I was looking for 1-minute entries right there. There was potentially one little stop loss that you could have taken. I didn't, but then on the next push, it did not provide it. Then we got another pullback right there at New York. Again, it didn't provide a textbook entry. So I was thinking, bro, you can just take limits from those zones and just like target the highs, right? But right now we came back towards this level. We tapped 50% and we rejected. But again, what is happening right now is we're having a very massive Asian range, right? This is too massive, right? So this is very bearish Asian range. we got the pullback. So technically right now we are bearish, and I do think we can attack this low, right? Because it's pretty much the next liquidity target. My other outcome was potentially to attack this high first and then to take a short, right? But what I started seeing on the 5-minute is that we were already kind of starting to shift, right? So we had this zone right there. That was the highest pullback. We tapped inside. We shifted right there on the 5-minute, and it was actually this pullback. There is a zone on the 1-minute. That is this one, from where I actually wanted to trade right now. So definitely this one could have been a trade that you could have taken. Well, yeah, let's say 2 pip stop loss and almost 5 hours tapped, right? So that was a trade I was looking to take, but came in a little bit too fast while I was actually recording this a few minutes ago. So that's fine. We're going to jump on the next one. But yeah, so overall right now, looking at the bearish sentiment, I would expect the market to continue going lower. And as we break below this low, that is when I'm going to be looking for new development, right? So what you can have is a tap pullback continuation. What you can have is a tap reversal continuation higher, right? Or yeah, we can just break through it. Okay. So those are the 2 outcomes that I'm looking at. Again, I do not exclude the fact that we can just pump to the highs from here, right? And then of course a new adaptation will be made. But at this precise point of time, recording it right now 24 minutes into Frankfurt Open, there is not a high probability, like hard time frame setup that I can be looking at. Okay, so looking for this low to take. Then of course, if we shift, I'm going to be looking for longs. If you continue with the bearish momentum, I'm going to be looking for shorts. Then of course, saying that this could be the weekly high, right? And then we might actually start initiating a little bit of a pullback to the downside, right? Or a bearish trend. But technically, again, everything is bullish. So longs are high probability until we really see this 4-hourly time frame shift. All right, so stay mindful of this. Okay, enough of EU. So what we can see is also look at that bullish pressure. So I haven't checked UJ, and I'm actually going to do this right now. So I have to check the order of those things. So yes, what we can see is that, of course, I was expecting this high to take, but I was expecting it to be taken and to reverse. But what we did is we took it out, we kind of get a little reaction, and then we broke higher. Okay, so that kind of gives me a little bit more of a bullish sentiment on this pair, right? It's breaking the highs, but it's also taking lots of liquidity above this high right there. And we can already see the rebound. So the question is right now, are we going to sustain this bullish pressure? Because we right now have turned a little bit bullish on the 4-hourly time frame. Okay, I'm not going to check the daily, but yeah, daily is bearish, right? So if I take this range on daily, we just ticked 50%, so we can be ready to go short. And this is why I told you on the DXY that this push to the upside means nothing yet. Okay, so right now what we have is, of course, a pullback towards this zone. You can see we have a massive push, impulse, correction right now. So we can be looking for to take any longs, right? So what I'm going to be doing is, of course, dropping to the 15 or to the 5-minute, waiting for the market to turn bullish, and then, of course, starting to follow this momentum, right? And of course, if this zone fails, then we can look for the lower one, but that would mean that we might actually break above, retest, and continue lower, right? So currently, UJ looks pretty bullish, so I would like to follow this momentum, but I'm also aware that we're tapping into this zone on the left, and we might actually start reversing lower. So let's see, right? Let's see. But currently we can see the short-term momentum is bullish on USDN, which is causing potentially all the JPYs to be bullish as well, right? And if I drop to EJ, we can see massive impulse into the highs. I have this high right there, which can potentially be taken right now. Although this is the major one, right? It might seek liquidity right there. So yes, overall, my range, my higher low is this, right? So we kind of consolidated right there. We made this lower low, massive push. Well, this is not a lower low, but this is the lowest low before the big pump. So this is my range. So what I'm going to be looking for is for any sort of pullback, right? So right now you can drop to the hourly time frame, maybe to find something that is on the left, but there is nothing much. What I also don't like right now is that we have this range, manipulation above, break a structure lower. We can have a pullback and a short towards 50%. So if you're feeling risky right now, and if you get any sharp pullback during London Open to the highs, you can of course look to take a short, riding it towards the 50%. But according to me, looking at this sentiment that the market opens with, I am favoring more longs on the JPY pairs. So let's see if we can get something like this, right? Aussie dollar also started pretty bullish, right? This guy just opened and started to roll to the upside in a very kind of slow fashion, right? And right now it's also a little bit tricky because yeah, 4-hourly time frame is just kind of pushing up. We had this little pullback push. Right now we have the sell candle right there that happened at the same time with the others. And what we have is this liquidity gap right here, which looks pretty good. Then we have this massive drop, and right now we are revisiting this wick, which is also a 15-minute supply. If I just drop it, you can see this big buy candle before a very big sell-off. So technically right now you can be looking to go short on AU. It's valid, right? And yeah, pretty much you got a short right there, which I was mentioning to my team. But right now we actually pull back for another liquidity gap right towards that wick, and you can be taking another one. And I see EU is dropping, so this one might possibly drop as well. What I was also telling my team is that this one looks a little bit too flat. So we might expect for this one to get broken first, right? So I was expecting something like this and then a potential reversal, right? But it looks like we already grabbed some sort of liquidity above these weak highs. We tapped inside this zone and we're already potentially on the move lower. So for example, if you're not long from there, you could be taking a long from here, just keeping the stop loss above, and you will be doing good. Okay, so let's see. I'm kind of expecting shorts on this one. It's kind of extended. I really like the Asian range development. We have this range manipulation, initiation lower. So right now we're very correctively pulling back towards this zone. So I do think it's pretty viable and possible to attack this low as well. But of course, let's see. It's Tuesday. We never know what's going to happen. The market can just blow through the roof from now on. But potentially I am framing some shorts, which are also risky. Why? Because we do not have a bearish trend. Right, yes, this is a push lower. It kind of broke structure, but again, as I told you, sometimes the market is in an uptrend, breaks, and then it goes. It happened last week on EU, and I actually got caught off guard thinking that this is a break of structure, so I ended up taking shorts from right there, and the market was simply bullish. Okay, so OZN, as I told you on Saturday, wait for the range breakout. We're having the range breakout. It's kind of starting to very slowly climb into the highs, so I do think this still is not clear for any opportunity, right? I don't see clear structure. It's kind of really little pushes right there, little pullbacks. Even on the hourly time frame, it's not forming any structure. So I'm still giving this one some time, right? I need to see clear structure, right? Like it used to form. Like, yeah, but AJ, it's either kind of chopping a little bit or it's either massively impulsing, right? So right now it's kind of clean, right? We're pulling back towards right now this daily supply. And we know that the daily is right now in a confirmed bearish trend. Why? Because we had one break of a lower high, of a higher low right there, and we have a second break right there. So this is a lower low. So right now we're pulling back. Let's see if we can catch any shorts. I'm gonna be looking for something a little bit better, right? This one is also kind of making the same setup. That looks like this range manipulation higher, but it hasn't broken the low right there, so it's not confirmed yet. Okay, so be careful. I would say be careful with the AJ. It's not very clean, okay? But I would personally wait for another spike into the highs, and then of course wait for some JPY's news that we have incoming, and a little bit of more development. And NZUSD, alike AU, just continues to push higher, and it's already kind of making the pullback. So if I just enlarge the range a little bit, yeah, we're making this push lower. So again, guys, today the tricky part is this push, right? We have this push across all pairs. So is this a reversal or is this just a liquidity grab, right? That's the big question. And of course, I don't know, right? Nobody has the answer. But what we can do is, of course, if you can take a long, then take a long, but then also take a short, right? If you get the opportunity. This one, not sure where exactly it's at, but it looks like it just took out all of these flat lows right there, and right now it's starting to recover. But what we have is we do not have a bullish setup, because right now technically the 15-minute for me, which is my kind of the time frame where I determine where to trade from, and the hourly as well, those are kind of shifting bearish, right? So I do not have a long setup. What I have actually is a short setup, right? But of course, what you can be doing is, if you start getting that intra-session bearish momentum right now, so let's say that this zone, which is the highest zone of a pullback, right there, is going to start getting respected and breaking the lows. So for example, you can see right now we're maintaining higher lows and higher highs, okay? But if we break below this guy right there with momentum, then I do think that this can say, this was the pullback, right? It's also 50% if you just check it out. So then you can start getting some valid shorts, right? Trading that intra-session momentum and targeting potentially this low right there. So that will be my outlook for now. And of course, a tap into the highs can give us another short opportunity. But of course, as I told you, those markets are still long markets. Okay, so don't go too aggressive and don't go too aggressive on those shorts. Okay, NJ is deeply tapping into the daily supply, right? Very nice bullish candle. The next day is already looking like a rejection. What I need to see on this one is more development, right? I do not like trading this kind of price, right? This just looks like driving into the highs. I don't like it. I like clean structure. This one is kind of, yeah, pushing up. There is no zones, nothing to look at. So I'm just skipping those pairs, right? Because there is nothing much to say. Yes, you can play the 15-minute, right? If the market starts to trend lower right now, respecting lower highs and lower lows, definitely, right? Definitely go for it, but it's not in my plan. If the flow doesn't make sense, then I'm just gambling, right? UJ, we had a look over it. It kind of looks bullish, so let's see if it starts to flip right there. So currently we have this structure on the 5-minute. If it starts breaking and respecting then demand zones, then you can start going long. Okay, so give it some time, because anything right now in London Open can go the opposite to what we just predicted. Okay, UCAT, I'm gonna add this to my analysis from next week. This one also looks like it's dropping, which means of course a weak dollar, but we saw that we have today GDP and tomorrow interest rate for CAT, so definitely give this one some time and don't be very aggressive. But yeah, this one is trending very nicely. Might start looking into it. It looks very nice as a swing trading pair, like it just taps and just goes in a very nice momentum. We'll see, right? GU also, so I don't have any new insights on GU. Pretty much this one did nothing yesterday. So yeah, there is the open. I was expecting a push or a continuation, a drop lower. Nope, nothing. Right? None of those scenarios, and we're just kind of ranging right now. Okay. So it's a little bit tough to decide what is going to happen right now. Like we have this high right there that hasn't been taken. We have this overall range. Still, this is the demand. This is the higher low on the 4-hourly time frame. You can see this is the pullback before the push. Anything inside right there is minor. So we have that same bearish momentum right there, and we can see that the market is already kind of trying to push lower. The Asian range is also pretty strange, right? So again, today is kind of a unique day when I just don't know what to do. Okay, and guess what? Well, I'm just gonna wait, maybe come back in New York, enjoy my day, and do something else. But yes, what can I say on this one? Well, I don't know, right? I just don't have a setup right now, and I don't need to force it, okay? What I was expecting at is for this high to be taken, to pull us back a little bit higher, then to short, but no. So right now, if we break out this low, then a lot of liquidity will be taken below, so we can expect a rebound. Then the question is this rebound a reversal or a pullback? Because right now, if we break below, then you're gonna have a new supply formed right there, so we can actually look to short, right? So that one could be one of the possibilities, right? It's probably going to attack this. Why? Because this one is a weak. Why? Because it did not take the high, right? So this one is not a higher low. It's minor structure, and usually when those fail to make a new structure high, they were gonna get taken. And also what we have on the left is also kind of these kind of equal lows right there. So I would be expecting bearishness on this one and taking out this level at least, right? So right now, if you're watching this analysis, if you can find a short, then definitely do so, right? The shorts are already being provided right now, right? So as you saw, I missed the EU short. Probably AU is right now providing a short as well. So liquidity target achieved on GJ. I think it was some sort of an inside bar that got tagged out. And we took it out, and right now we are potentially kind of initiating a pullback. The question is it a reversal or is it a pullback, right? JPY pairs currently are not the best. They're not very clean. They don't have like clean structural zones. So I'm just kind of, yeah, waiting for them to develop a little bit better. But yes, if we pair this one with UJ, that is a little bit bullish right now. GU is a little bit bearish. So not very good, right? Not very high probability. But yeah, overall same setup. We were in this kind of range, very wicky. Yesterday we started with a move higher, and right now we're kind of getting that little reversal vibe. But as you can see, it's very flat. It's not very nice. So again, guys, there is no setup, right? You have to learn that not every day is a trading day, and sometimes I think that was a habit of mine that I had in the past, but I'm really good at it right now. I didn't say anything clear, and then I'm just gonna start flicking through the time frames. Oh man, but the 50-minute is that, but the hourly is that, 4-hourly is that. Okay, let's just try to trade the 3-minute today, taking lower highs. No, bro. You just come in, 4-hourly time frame. What is it? Up or down? Cool, up. What is the hourly? Up or down? Cool. Where is my areas of value? There it is. I trade from there, right? And when you don't have any of those, when anything is not clear, you just don't trade. Okay, EURUSDJPY, screw you, I don't understand you, and I'm gonna remove you, all right? yeah, it kind of respects this zone right now, looking bullish. So does that mean that Euro USD is stronger than the pound? Probably, right? But how does that help me? I don't know. Gold hasn't developed as much. Looking at the bearishness of the... yeah, it's not very bearish neither. We're kind of turning a little bit bullish right now. So if the dollar turns bullish, then this one can actually turn bearish a little bit. But currently, I don't see much confirmation on gold, guys. This pair is probably waiting NFP, probably waiting something more. So give it some time, right? Don't rush into it. Of course, you can drop to the hourly time frame and you can say, all right, so we had this break of the high, then we have this break of the low. So this is technically right now a lower low, right? So what you can be doing right now is trying to, so that was a potential short right there, taking out that high, right, New York high from Friday, right? So right now we have an area like this that you can be looking to take a short. And of course, if all the pairs go short and DXY goes long, I do think a short can work out from here. But again, is it high probability? I don't think so. But pretty much if you wish to trade, this is the only opportunity that I see right now. So let's see if gold shorts are going to pop up. We're having this kind of short-term reversal to the upside as well. But again, it's too early to say. Indices continue to push higher. Not very nice. I wanted to buy more. But again, as I told you in the weekly outlook, there is nothing new. I'm right now looking to see how we're going to hold from those levels, which we have across all indices, right? Nasdaq is the weakest so far. Of course, we know tech stocks are dropping heavily. So looking to see how it's going to respond from that zone. And the S&P is also very nicely pulling back towards it. So let's see if it's going to respond and turn bearish right now. Crypto has a rebound, man. Let's buy. Nah, I'm joking, guys. Could just be smashing all these flat highs and then potentially just continue dropping lower. I'm not touching crypto. I'm not touching crypto for now, waiting for a new trend to establish. Ethereum failed to take out this low that I'm only gonna buy Ethereum if this low is being taken out. So right now, what you can be doing right now is actually looking to short. Okay, so not much insights on crypto. The market is a little bit funny right now, right? Kind of stock market increasing, dollar kind of acting weird. So yeah, not very clean market conditions to be trading at. Okay, so to summarize, pretty much the EU short is definitely on TP right now. So slightly regretting not plotting an order maybe, but I was not monitoring the charts at that time. Maybe this analysis might be a bit too long. So yes, I'm definitely expecting this low to be taken right now. It's the Asian low. I'm kind of regretting not taking a short. It is what it is, right? GU is also kind of pushing lower. It's already below the Asian low, right? And this one is potentially traveling towards this low. So after this happens, then of course we have to reevaluate. We can right now have a pullback towards taking a short. Let's see. Dixie looks like it's also gonna break the high. And then as I told you, let's see what happens after we tap into this supply, right? To see if we're actually gonna kind of tap, create a pullback and continue, or are we gonna have a full-blown reversal? Okay, Aussie dollar, it's kind of giving us a short right now. Oy! Look at that. I told you guys, these flat highs are being taken out. They just got taken out, and the potential any of you getting short might get stopped out. And right now, it's possibly the time to re-enter right after the liquidity has been grabbed. So let's see if this one is going to continue. I would personally wait for a little bit more. I'm not also trading AU a lot right now. But yes, looking for more development, looking for adaptations right now. And yes, potentially if EU right now closes strongly, I'm going to be looking for a pullback to potentially jump into shorts. But I also have zero pressure to be trading today. I would actually let the market close the month in profit, not kind of taking any losses today, because that's not going to be nice. And yes, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. Again, guys, keep in mind it's NFP. We have a lot of news. The development currently is kind of a little bit funny. So trade patiently, follow your plan, all right? Don't let anyone influence you, right? Don't go to Instagram and see all of those traders publishing big R&Rs, publishing profits. You do not want to follow those guys, right? Because they usually try to sell you something or something like that. There is no value, right? And just focus on yourselves, right? That's my message for today. I wish you a crushing week ahead of you and see you on my next video.